What's happening, y'all? It's me coming back at you again with another vid. First things first, I got to give a shout out to Caleb Plant for having his first ever title defense, for having his first successful title defense against Mike Lee, completely dismantling him for 3 rounds while the fight lasted. So, shout out to him. And I want to give out my thoughts and prayers to the White Rhino Dave Allen, in case you guys may not have heard. It was reported at least about more than an hour ago that he's been taken to the hospital after his brutal fight, or the knockout that he suffered from what's it called, David Price. So so my thoughts and prayers to go out to him and his family, and congratulations to David Price for you could say somewhat a mild upset win. So that's all I have to say about that. But let's talk about the meat and potatoes here. The Deontay Wilder, the Dillian Whyte and Oscar Rivas post-fight preview. Now, very good, pretty good, entertaining fight, a heavyweight clash. There was some dramatics and whatnot. There was some bit of back and forth in the first half of the fight, which I did edge Rivas by 1 round after the 7th round. In the 8th round, it was a close round, a bit of a close round, but maybe you could edge it to Dillian Whyte because he was able to get off a little bit faster. He would start to come on with his body shots, and then he was able to establish the jab a lot better than he did in the first half of the fight. And that's probably the reason why most people, observers, scored most half that some of those rounds, early rounds, to Dillian Whyte, because he was pawned with the jab. And of course, when you pawn with the jab, that shows in the judge's eyes is that you're being active. While Oscar Rivas, on the other hand, didn't have much value in those rounds. But needless to say, he was pressing the action and he was landing the harder shots. So from that standpoint, it depends on what you like and what you see and how you score it. That's how you're going to score it from an offensive standpoint. But needless to say, things started to change a little bit when Rivas put Dillian Whyte down with a very terrific right uppercut in the inside. It put him down pretty hard, and credit to Dillian Whyte, he got up and took that shot very well. He recovered, pretty quickly, and it was kind of almost not as similar to the Joseph Parker fight when Joseph Parker dropped him, but when Joseph Parker dropped him, that was more due to the fatigue by Dillian Whyte. But at the same time, he was hurt too, and he survived and held on, and that goes to his pretty good survival instincts. He held on very hard to win that fight against Parker, because if there was another round and it was like 20 more seconds into that fight, I know it's a hypothetical, but Dillian probably would have got stopped in that fight. But it is what it is. He won the fight and survived it. Now we're here to the Oscar Rivas fight, and he survived. Let's be real. He survived the knockdown, got up, and some would argue that he won he swept the later rounds after that knockdown, after that 9th round knockdown. He won the last 3 rounds with the body shots, and now he started to adjust and put the little pressure on Rivas, and Rivas faded. And at first I did score the fight for Rivas, which is 7 rounds of 5, 115, 112, but then again, I had it, I said, you know what, because obviously I wanted to look at it one more time, and just so that way I can have a definite score. So I looked at it again, and from a upload somewhere, and then I looked at it one more time. So I looked at it 2 more times to make a final decision on who I thought won the fight, and I have to conclude that Dillian Whyte won it, because as those other early rounds were pretty close, but I just felt that Rivas just waited too long. In my view, he just waited too long to get off it. I think he was hoping for Dillian to tire out in the later rounds like he did in previous fights, but apparently it was Rivas that tired out because he was getting hit with those body shots and he pretty much had no answer for it. I don't know what Rivas was thinking when he was getting hit with those body shots. What he should have done is that when he got hit with one of those body shots, absorb it and then come in with the counter left hook, because Dillian Whyte was going to be very open to that, especially with the left hook. So congratulations to Dillian Whyte. He's now the interim champion. Not the real champion. He's the interim champion, which more likely means he is the mandatory challenger. And what's surprising about this, and I have to quote on this, is that now we're into where does Dillian Whyte go from here. Now people are now screaming, yeah, Dillian Whyte is a mandatory. Deontay Wilder can't run from him now. He's got to fight him now. Well, Dillian Whyte does not agree with you on that one, guys. So you better pump your brakes on that. And let me tell you why. Because at the press conference, he was asked about that. Are you ready? Now you want to go ahead and get a shot at Wilder or Fury? And particularly Deontay Wilder. He said, this is what Dillian said, quote, "Not right now. I'm not rushing into that fight." Yep, that's what Dillian said at that press conference. I'm not rushing to the Deontay Wilder fight right now because Wilder is long and he's tricky. He's extremely dangerous in a very, very awkward style. And I need more time to prepare for a fight like that. That's what he said. If you don't believe me, take a look at that press conference I think it was on IFL TV that uploaded it, or Seconds Out. It was one of those two uploads, but I'm just telling the truth. I'm not making it up. He did say that. He did say that I need more time to prepare for Deontay Wilder fight. I'm not rushing into it right now, which means he's not ready for that fight right now. That's not a bad thing, to be honest with you. And I honestly commend Dillian to be honest in that situation because, look, he's been in 3-4 straight grueling fights so far. He needs time to rest. He needs more time to prepare because he hasn't really, in the fights that he's had, well, you name the Lucas Browns, the Joseph Parkers, of course, you could, not Anthony Joshua. Let's say after the Anthony Joshua fight, he's at the Lucas Browns, he's at the Robert Arlanius, he's at the Malcolm Tans, Joseph Parker, as I mentioned, the 2 Derek Chisora fights, and now with Oscar Rivas. Fights like that, yes, it makes you battle tested on world level, but none of those guys have the style and the awkwardness and the power and the speed and the velocity like a Deontay Wilder. So I commend him again for saying that because he's admitted himself indirectly that I haven't fought the fight that I need to prepare for a fight like that, so I need more time to prepare. I need to find someone who can help me prepare for a fight like that as far as sparring partners is concerned, or get someone there who's just as awkward and who resembles the style of Deontay Wilder. And let's be honest, there's really no other heavyweight who could do that. So again, and Dillian just said that he's not rushing into Deontay Wilder fight. He's not keen on that right now. He's not going to be ready for that. He needs more time to prepare. Those are his words. So I know it's going to disappoint most of you to hear him say that, but it is what it is. He was just being honest. So even if he says I'm ready, he knows damn well that he's not going to get the title shot immediately. He knows that because Wilder's already fulfilled that mandatory obligation. He has a whole year to do it, to fulfill one again when the WBC decides to call it. So anyhow, but that's if Wilder can hold on to his title against Ortiz and Fury, if that fight does come off, or even Ruiz by that matter, if Ruiz gets past Joshua, which some people expect him to do. Which, by the way, Joshua is going into the early betting odds if that fight does get made as the favorite, which to me I find very laughable and shocked about it. But it is what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and get back to the boxing. Anyway, another shout out to Faye Ajaba for his win over. I forgot the other prospect that he fought, but it is what it is. Let me know what your thoughts about this. I'm out. Peace.